I think a lot of us and people all over the world have good reason to feel nervous about the situation our country's in. Because think about it, Joe Biden is saying, I'm going to personally strike Russia with missiles, like, or NATO is, like, all my allies. We're going to press the button. You know, we always talk about, oh, America will just press the button, we'll kill everyone. Well, that's what he's talking about, like giving them weapons that involve pressing the button. And what do those weapons involve generally? Like, I've been researching it, and I think it's pretty difficult to figure out, like, exactly how they worked. But generally, they depend on GPS. The earlier ones, like during the Iraq War, apparently, like, we tried to do it without GPS, and like our missiles ended up in Saudi Arabia. Like our missiles ended up in like Turkey. Like, they didn't just miss; they missed by like hundreds of miles. And so, like, when we talk about, like, missiles missing without GPS, and, like, during the Obama administration, I was crazy about it. Like, I was like, you guys need to dedicate your lives to making sure that our missiles do not depend on GPS. Like, we need to get off satellites, like, for ICBM deployment. And, like, I really, really did talk about that because I think that that's kind of, like, one of the secrets to military, to like, being able to whoop everyone's ass is being able to do ICBMs with no GPS. And ICBMs like that are very, very expensive, I assume, because they probably require custom computer chips. And like they're that hard to build. But like the ICBMs that he would be giving to Ukraine generally would be like, here, you're gonna use the missile. But in reality, like the missiles would be getting shot from Alabama, Washington, DC, Colorado, California, a military base somewhere. Like, I know that, like, where I live is exactly where Russia is going to think that the missiles were shot from. Because Russia will go, where is the National Geospatial? Oh, Colorado Springs? Well, then that's where we should shoot missiles at. And, like, the reality is that, like, the moment we shoot missiles at Russia, like, they can, you're going to shoot missiles at us like that? Well, then we'll shoot missiles like that at you. And it is a possibility. I mean, the thing is, like, Russia, I can see a situation where Russia's just like, I'm going to send my Navy and I'm going to bomb the crap out of, like, Boeing or something. Or I'm going to bomb the crap out of Lockheed Martin. Or I'm going to bomb the crap out of Raytheon. And then maybe our missile defense shoots it down. And then the debris lands in the city, wherever. I'm not actually talking about in Colorado Springs. Like, we're so far inland, like, Russia would have to use people on the ground here. And that's the other possibility, is that people are on the ground. And, like, I think that Russia probably knows whether or not... so we're all in this situation where Joe Biden is basically saying, like, we're going to instigate a war with Russia. Like, we're not just going to, like, give aid to Ukraine, which we have gone so far with our aid to Ukraine right now. Like, when Ukraine is... a lot of these girls want to have babies with me. It sounds like a lot of people want to have babies with me. Like, that's the thing about me. Like, I'm someone that's so freaking awesome that you can't delete me. There are too many girls that want to have babies with me because they think I'm awesome. And, like, this is, like, a crazy censorship situation where him and Kamala Harris and Trump and, like, the Justice Department and that many people think that this censorship is okay when, like, it is that tampering with an election. It's going, we're not actually having an election, trust me. We will, like the last thing we're having is a real election. The last thing anyone will ever believe is that America has free elections. Like, we'd have to be crazy to believe this is a free election when the censorship is that intense. And while you're censoring, you're going, oh, we're just going to go to war with that country. And the reality is, like, I think Russia by itself is not that scary. But, like, I also think, like, it could turn into very, very, like, when I saw the speech that, like, someone from China did at the Defense Forum, I went, oh, we lost. We lost the world. The world's going to be against us. They said that. Like, what they said is that, like, small countries have a right to give their opinion about international affairs. And, like, the only people that matter shouldn't only be the United States. And these people that apparently will censor that much, that do not have free elections at all. Like, we want to talk about other people's not free elections. We live in an oligarchy dictatorship run by sex trafficking drug dealers that are like psychopaths. Like that's the real situation with the way that they brainwash people. It's sick. They're brainwashing little kids. They're that into like weird sex stuff with kids. I mean, they're that into like having like cloning little people and pimping out little people and selling little people into prostitution. Like they are like that weird, but then they're like, oh, we're the Bible bangers a lot of the time. Like none of them would ever tell you they're not even a Christian. They follow a religion that involves breeding because no one actually accepts that religion. That's part of that religion. The main rule of that religion is your wife has to be part of your religion, which is she has to have the bloodline, which means that her mom has to be part of that religion. And the reality is it is a group of people that thinks that you're not like them. You didn't breed right to get to where they are. And and they are racist towards white people. Like you will never believe that how racist they are. I'm in a situation where no one will talk to me. Like people are like scared to say anything to me. All they'll ever say to me is, you're crazy, you're crazy. You think you're important, you're not important. And then I'll show them pictures and I'll be like, look at how, like, this is from today or this is from yesterday. Like this girl apparently is famous and she's really like uncomfortable with the bunny situation because I mean, I don't even know what's going on with the bunnies. I think the bunnies like everything evolved. Like it's like, it started off with Christmas and then bears and bunnies. It's a long story. All I'm saying is, what are we doing here? Like we're just like letting our country just like decide we're gonna go to war with who knows who? Because we know who. We know people are afraid of us. We know they know we're smarter than them. We know that they know that we're killers. Like that's for sure. Like if there's anything you can find out is like that like people are sex traffickers and they've never been caught. That's a bunch of killers. Like they are like the most killers of all time. Like you will never find people that are killers like people that never ever get caught and are that in charge and they're sex traffickers. Like we're like there isn't a whisper about them. And so the rest of the world does know we're killers. And I think that when Biden like says this, like he thinks everyone's afraid of us. And the reality is like, I'm afraid of us. And I think we're all afraid of us. Like when I see like this on the internet and I go, what's going on? Like, okay, so I am famous, like for sure. And I'm constantly going like, I think I am famous. Like I know I'm famous. Like, if they make me disappear, it's going to be a bad situation. Like, because that's the real situation. Like, I know they'll make me disappear. And like, I have worked so hard to make sure I'm famous because I know that they can make me disappear with no trial in America. Because like, they've been in charge of America for that long and they've killed so many people to make sure that no one knows how in charge they are. And so like, I think that like, World War III is with Russia and like that many countries is not my thing. Like I don't want to do that. Like, but I mean, granted we're across the ocean, so like all we have to do is worry about like the Navy hitting us a little bit, not a full scale invasion.